Hello, this is Greg Lentz again, Training and Development Supervisor with Pacesetter Claims. This is a training video again in the VIP environment, but we're going to look at a few peripheral issues that you might run into in buttons and features that I have not gone over in the previous training videos that you probably want to be aware of. So, first of all, I want to show you if you happen to get into an invoice, you're creating a new invoice. We'll go through this, and you get an error that says there's a duplicate invoice that exists. In that case, you need to stop. You may want to take a screenshot of that, and then you need to contact our accounting department, specifically Tabitha Admire. That would be tabitha.admire@pacesetterclaims.com, Tabitha dot Admire, ADMIRE, at pacesetterclaims.com. You would need to email Tabitha, and you could include a screenshot if you wanted to of the error. I'll show you that shortly. Also, make sure if you do that you CC your manager and any supervisors that are with your carrier that you work with so that they know what's going on, okay? So let's do that. So we're going to go into, say you create a new estimate. We'll select our carrier. We're going to type one in here that I know that I've already created an estimate for as an example. Search. Select the claims, select the gross loss amount, select this button, select estimate to get into the estimate. So we're going merrily along, creating our estimate. We're going to select daily. It's a standard fee schedule estimate. Great. I'm not adding any mileage or anything. Everything's done. That's all I need to do. And I'm going to submit. And this is for anything. You may add mileage and upload documents and whatever. It doesn't matter. If you get ready and you hit the submit button or submit and new, and you get this right here, this little red bar, duplicate invoice. You might take a snapshot of that or use your snipping tool to grab that. And then that's when you're going to email Tabitha and CC your manager and supervisor. Then you would just reset and or just cancel. And you won't be able to create the invoice right away. You'll have to wait and see what's going on and let Tabitha take a look and see what this other invoice may have been. They may need to clear it. It may have to be voided. It may be legitimate. I don't know. But the point is if you see that error, stop and contact Tabitha and your manager and wait, and they'll direct you as how to proceed further once they figure out what's going on. Okay, so we're just going to cancel this. That's number one. So let's look at a couple of other areas. So let's go to create new invoice. Select the carrier AFIX. And we put our claim number in here. PACE. We'll do a brand new one. Search. And there's our claim. So we click on that. Now, we have an area up here, a little button, manual claim. Okay. Typically, you're not going to need to use this. It's very rare that you would have to use this. If you do, check with your manager. You can also select manual estimates. This you might run into as well. Again, it's going to be quite rare. But what this is when you look at this estimate amount right here, the gross loss amount. So again, let me back out of that. When you search the claim and you select the claim, if you've watched any of the other videos, you'll know that once you highlight the claim, the gross loss amount for the estimate is going to appear here. If you look at this number, 21,899,00, and you know that that's incorrect, you should probably be checking just to make sure. You can go look at the estimate. If this number is wrong, if it's pulling the wrong number somehow, it's supposed to be pulling this from the estimate that you've uploaded to Exact Analysis. But if VIP is not working properly and it gives you some other number, that's when you're going to want to use this button here, Manual Estimates. And it allows you to go put the correct gross loss amount. So let's say the gross loss amount instead of 21,899 was just 21,000 even. Let's just make it simple. So we would select manual estimates. We would select 21,000.00. You do not have to type in a comma. You do have to make sure you put the decimal in for dollars and cents. And then you would select OK. You're not adding line item counts. That's down the road. We're not using that. All you do is put the correct gross loss amount that's actually on your estimate if you know and recognize that there's some discrepancy with this number. So you would select OK. And now it gets into the estimate amount. The invoicing. And see over here, it's changed the gross loss that the actual invoice is going to bill on. It's not showing that 21,899 anymore. You've manually changed it. So just keep that in mind, that you probably need to be checking just to make sure when you come into VIP, you might want to go into exact analysis and write that RCV amount down. The gross loss. I mean, this is probably a better way to say it, the gross loss. Make sure that it matches when you create the invoice. Okay? And we'll cancel this and go back out. So, another area that you might see, let's create new invoice. Affix. Type claim in here. Search. We'll select our claim. Now we have also this select multiple estimates. Again, just disregard this. This is not being used right now. Don't worry about it. You should never have to click on this. Typically, all we're going to be using is select estimate. Occasionally, you may use the manual estimates, which we just went over, which is where you would need to actually manually change the gross loss amount because this number is incorrect. Or, which we're going to see now, no estimates. So, if you select no estimates, what this button is for is in the instance that you go inspect a property, but after the inspection is done, but before you actually write the estimate, the insured withdraws the claim, or the claim, some reason, is canceled, but you have gone to inspect the property. So now you're going to bill on a $0 estimate, but you're going to bill on the fee schedule at $0. It's not a cancellation or a withdrawal before you inspect or an erroneous assignment. That's different. We'll look at that in a minute. So let's say that you did go inspect and the insured, after the inspection or that evening or whatever they called and said, hey, we want to withdraw the claim. You say, okay, fine. So let's select no estimate. And now, if you noticed, the gross loss is $0. Let's go back and look again. I'm going to go do this again. Create new invoice, affix. We search. We'll select the claim. We have an estimate number in here. Now, there won't be an estimate number in here, right? There should be, so you haven't written the estimate. But this is where you're going to go over here. And the reason why you do this and select this red button in that case is because it will still, even though it shows a $0 here on the gross loss amount, because you selected that red button, it will still pay you and bill off of the fee schedule. Right? So I'll show you how this works. So let's go in and put, as we normally do, if you've seen the other videos, very similar. Rather, I should say it's exactly the same, not similar. Daily rate or CAT, we'll select that. We'll select fee schedule. And now look, now it's putting $172.25 that it's paying you, the adjuster. That's off the fee schedule for affix, $0 estimate. If you didn't hit the red button and you went in, which we'll do that in a minute, and let's say it was a cancellation before you inspected the property, or it was a duplicate claim, you already had the claim, and you want to bill on that. Let's say it's just a $50 bill, it's not billing off the fee schedule. You would use another method for that. You wouldn't use that red button. Remember, again, the red button, no estimates, is when you have inspected the property, but there's going to be no estimate. For whatever reason, there's no estimate that you're billing off of, but you are going to bill off of the fee schedule still. That's when you use that red button. And now we'll get paid on a $0 estimate based off the fee schedule. Okay? Okay, so let's cancel that and we'll go back out and look at another scenario where we are going to bill on a withdrawal or cancellation before you inspect. So we're not going to bill off the fee schedule. Or let's say it's a duplicate claim or an erroneous assignment or something like that. So, okay, here we go. We got the assignment. We're going to create an invoice. We'll say it was withdrawn, $0 estimate, or erroneous assignment. We still have to go through the same process to create an invoice. We'll search. Search, select the claim. Again, this number will be different. I'm using the same sample estimate or same claim, sample claim. This would be $0 if there was no estimate, obviously. So let's just pretend it's 0, right? We have to click on it so that we can select this button as always and get into the invoicing area for that claim. And we're going to select assignment type, daily, cat, whatever. However, this is a little different. Under assignment category, we're not going to select fee schedule this time. We're going to select cancellation, erroneous assignment. Now, if we look down over here in the service fee that you, the adjuster, is going to get paid, $35.75. That's not billing off of the fee schedule. That is a separate fee for just straight cancellations, withdrawals before inspections have been done, erroneous assignments, that kind of stuff. And that's how you do that. Very simple. One you do with the red button, no estimates. Cancel it again. That's when we put our claim in here and go to the claim area and we'll see the buttons on the right. No estimate is for you want to bill on the fee schedule, but there's a $0 estimate. The one we just did is where you're not billing on the fee schedule and it's a $0 estimate. So you just get the standard fee for whatever that is. I hope that helps. That's some of the little anomalies that you might see in some of the other features. I wanted to put that in a separate video that will help you. If you have any questions, always contact your manager or your supervisor. They'll be more than happy to help you. Hope you have a great day. Please go look at the other training videos so that you'll become familiar with VIP. Again, it's very, very easy to do this. Once you play around in this for about 10 minutes or so and do your first couple of invoices, it's a breeze. Thanks again. Have a great day.